Hello, the purpose of this video is to give you some perspective about all of 2020. I'm going to be talking about events in the heavens that are more related to the right now, but because in astrology, the birth chart, the beginning is what sets the tone for the whole lifetime. The beginning of a year, the chart for the beginning of the year sets the tone for a whole lifetime. If you go to my introduction to 2020 video, you will get information about the birth chart of the year. And then this energy continues, and it's getting very strong for this weekend. January 10th and January 12th are important times, but understand they're going to affect us all year. So one of the ways I think about doing it is this sign says 2020 wow, and I'm doing sign spinning to say it's a good thing to pay attention. Come right in and pay attention to what's going on in the heavens. And what's going on in the heavens, if we emphasize the numerology piece of things, is that we have 4 planets that are at 22 degrees Capricorn. 22 is the master number of 4. So here we go. I am highlighting 22, 22, 22, 22. And 22, the master number of 4. 4 is the number of stability. So this mandala that I have created to represent 4, if we want to sort of tap into the good energy of the year, this is a visual image that might help you. Now, we're going to talk more about what I mean. What do I mean when I say we've got 4 planets? What are they? Who are they? What are they all about? So here's we've got 4 energies that I'm putting forth. The tarot card for 22 is called the Fool card. It relates to the planet Uranus, an important player this year, but that's not what I'm talking about right now. I'm using it because it also is the energy of 22. And 22 is a very talented energy. People who are 22s are just, I always ask when I meet somebody who has 22 in their numerology chart in a very significant place, if they were in gifted and talented classes, and typically they say yes. So we've got this energy where we have 4 planets in this energy of being able to live. I mean, it's affecting all of us, and all of us have the ability to live at a higher level right now, and we may well be called to a higher level right now. Let's think what's going on in the world. We have fires in Australia. Certainly the firefighters have to be called to be stable, to be living at a higher plane, to keep going because it just doesn't end. We've got contention going on in the world with the U.S. and Iran. There's a great need for discipline and stability in people making measured decisions that are good for the greater good. We have a contentious election year ahead of us. People are still going to need to be raising their kids. Teachers are going to be teaching children. Bankers are going to be doing their banking. There's a need to not get all tangled up in the contentious energy. And so Capricorn is the sign in which these planets are in. And Capricorn, actually I'm not showing the picture. Capricorn, the symbol for Capricorn is a little bit challenging. It's called the devil, and it's like bedeviling, because sometimes like finding stability when you have to be having faith. And I think maybe I didn't explain this fully, that what we see is a picture of a person who's walking to the edge of the cliff. He's looking up. He's not being fearful. He's got an inner stability that says, no matter if I don't know what's coming, I'm going to be fine. So Capricorn has this devil card that it's bedeviling to figure out. And so one of the ways that Capricorn, where 22 degrees Capricorn falls in the deck of tarot cards, is this card where we see a man who has a pentacle, a round circle like a shield over his heart and solar plexus, one above his head and two at his feet. He's like grounded. He's protecting his heart and his solar plexus, and he's protecting himself above. I think that protection makes a lot of sense in one way, but look at how different protection, what does protection mean? Protection means that I have, one of the ways to look at protection is having faith that everything is going to work out okay. So let me talk about the planets that are in this 22 degrees area. One of them is the sun. And the sun is in a deck of tarot cards, to my way of thinking, the best card in the deck. I mean, it's the source of all energy for the planet, and it is represented in the card by a child. There's like, the sun is the sun. I mean, it just is good energy. So, and it sheds light on things. So what is it shedding light on? It's combining over this coming weekend of beginning of January, the first full weekend of January. It is, I guess it's the second full weekend of January. It is connected to Saturn, and Saturn is the planet of discipline. Now, you might not think that this picture necessarily looks at discipline, but you see how she has a wreath around her. She has to figure out how to dance, how to feel free in the midst of being confined. There's a definite energy that says everything is not possible. You have to work within the structure. Saturn is coming along at 22 degrees saying, how can you have faith that things are going to work out and still work within the structure? Then, and Saturn is like the disciplinarian of the chart. So Saturn being at 22 degrees has the capacity to be higher and more profound. And here we have the planet that, the card that goes with Pluto, and Pluto and Saturn are together. And Pluto shows an angel above people standing in their coffins. Pluto is the card about, and Pluto is an energy that says, what are you doing with your life? If there's something that's not right, we're going to bring it up to be healed, and we're going to clear away what isn't right, because the angel is calling people to live their life to the fullest. There's nobody, like the fact that they're in their coffins is sort of a symbol that no one is getting out of here alive. But life is a gift, and what are you doing with it, and where are you going? Are you living your highest self? And then the fourth energy is actually an asteroid. You might think of it as a planetoid, not a full ranking planet. It's a feminine energy added in the late 60s to the Astrological Profile series. Is about, think of the word cereal. It's spelled C-E-R-E-S, and think of the word cereal. It starts with C-E-R. Much of the world is fed with cereal. It's about how do we nourish ourselves, and she is an energy that keeps her eye. She's very focused on what needs to be done to nourish ourselves. So I encourage you to really tune into the fact that there is higher spiritual energy available for figuring out what is stability in your life. When this energy of these two planets, Saturn and Pluto being together, hasn't happened for 500 years. 500 years ago was the start of the Protestant Reformation. It was taking the Catholic Church, which was it was government, it was comparable to probably China, Russia, and United States in terms of the Roman Empire had been great. The Catholic Church still had lots of influence over much, much, much of the Western world. And there came a situation where the Pope imposed a tax. The Pope was quite extravagant and needed money, wanted money, imposed a tax saying you couldn't talk to God unless, like you couldn't do confession unless you paid the church, and then you talked to a priest. And then there was a priest who said, no, that I know I can talk to God directly. And people had been going along the path of splitting from the way things were for quite a long time. On when Saturn and Pluto were exact 500 years ago was when Martin Luther took a stand and things really started moving forward. What we get from that is go forward another 200 some years, and now we've got people moving to the United States, forming a country that had an emphasis of on freedom of religion. And it has changed the world. The world is quite different than the world would have been if the Catholic Church had remained just the one dominant power. Now, we know we have issues of who and what country will dominate the world. There are just many weighty issues. There's probably weighty issues in your life because there's the macro level and the micro level, and on the micro level, as above, so below, so everything filters down. You probably have some weighty issues in your life that you're trying to figure out. I mean, we always do. Remember that the important thing to know is that the universe, that these planets, that although they are really, really pushing, like they're gonna push on the world. They have been, they already will be. I mean, the conditions that created fires in Australia didn't start the day those fires started. There is a movement towards great transformation, which is what this Pluto card is about. And it is at 22 degrees, and 22 degrees is saying that there is the potential for a higher energy available to you. I welcome questions about what this energy will mean for you. It individually impacts everyone's chart. I have done 12 videos for each of the signs, or each of your sun sign or your ascendant, because the ascendant is probably even more accurate than your sun sign. That's a discussion for another time. And I'm also available to talk to you about your individual chart, because any generalization where we take every human on the earth and divide them into one of just 12 is way too limiting, because we're each individuals. Your chart is individual. I would be more than happy to share with you how it works in your chart. You can get more information about me at my website, hattieparker.com. You can also sign up for a reading. You can also download a free I call it a freebie, and freebie is called Mind Mastery. It's absolutely something that will be helpful to you. Over the year, I'm going to be talking about mind mastery in the terms of mining for gold in your mind, and I look forward to sharing with you about those in future videos. Thanks very much. Bye.